Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Minecraft Through the Ages SMP. This is going to be video 31. Today we're going to be working on the Scarlett Forest. So today y'all will find out what we mean by the Scarlett Forest. I've kind of kept y'all in the dark. I wanted it to be a surprise. I've also got a new member joining us later tonight. I will introduce them in the outro. But let me go ahead and cut to some of the footage of what the Scarlett Forest is going to be. Alrighty guys, it is time for the Building with the Dark segment. We are going to be working on our Mushroom Forest. I'm going to do this first big guy with you, and then I'll just kind of show you some of the other styles we're going to go with. Organic structures are a little difficult in Minecraft. The way I like to do them, like, for example, it's going to be a mushroom, so I'm going to start with the stalk, or stem. We're going to make it a little thick, because we're actually going to make this, like, a big mushroom. It's going to be, like, an overlying central point of the village. There's a few of them. There's one over there, one down there, one over there. We're going with two styles of mushrooms. This first one that I'm going to show you guys is using a birchwood as the stalk. We got a netherrack, which is going to be our main block, and then we've got jungle wood and red wool as our accent pieces. So we're going to make this probably a double-headed stalk. And we're just going to kind of come out at a little bit of an angle for one of these guys. Actually, we don't want to go too sharp. We want to keep it kind of slow to start. And then we're going to come up to kind of a point with that guy. And then we're going to come back down here and kind of go out and build the other one. I'm going to build this one out a little bit this way. And then I'll start turning it, I think. And just trust me on this. It's going to look a little rough to start off. But I think you just trust me in the end. I think we'll get there. Now, you want to make sure these are at different heights. You also want to be careful of, like, super steep transitions. So I'm actually going to take this block out, I think. We're trying to keep them about the height of that building right there. Not too much farther. But let's run down here and just kind of see how we're looking. That's not bad, not bad. There's a few spots we're going to want to beef it up. And then the next thing I want to do is kind of come in here and change out these blocks. Since we are in an older version of Minecraft, we don't have, like, the wood sides. So I just want to make sure all my wood stalks are pointing downward and not outward like that guy. And yeah, this is what we call an organic structure. It's like nature-esque structures that can sometimes be difficult to make look good in the game that is Minecraft. The game we are playing. Alright, that's looking pretty good. I think right here might be a spot where I want to put another one, like, facing downward, and probably want to get rid of that block right here. And then you just kind of play around, place some blocks, take a step back, look at it, maybe grab some scaffolding blocks to look at it at different angles. I'm thinking that's looking pretty good myself. I think the only part I might want to change is right here. I might want to add some blocks on the side to kind of bring that all together. I need to change that block around. Let's check from this side. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good, pretty good. Okay, we're going to actually break out these few blocks, but we're going to put one back. Again, we don't want them facing outwards. We want them all facing downwards. Or if we can hide it, face a different direction. Like, for example, this one, we can actually change and face this direction. So you get the white pattern, but you won't see the wood from the top. Alright, and then the next step is grab your main block, which for me is going to be netherrack. And I'm pretty sure I don't have enough for this, but we're going to try it anyways. And then we're going to go build the mushroom tops. It's been a while since I had a biology class, but I know they got an actual name. We're going to go up like maybe, I think, 4 blocks, and then kind of outwards in kind of a cone shape. And I'm thinking we go out at least 5 blocks, since this is a pretty tall mushroom. It's okay to leave like chunks missing, because it is a natural structure and they don't grow symmetrical, typically. I do think we need to come out a little farther, though. I think this is going to kind of look small from down low. Another difficult thing about natural structures in Minecraft is getting perspective. So, like, from down low, you're not going to see this topper. So, typically, you want to go up maybe, like, 2 blocks on each layer to kind of give you that perspective from down low. And like I said, I'm definitely not going to have enough for what I want to do here, but it'll at least get us started. And then I'm probably going to go up maybe 4 blocks on this last one. And then, like, near the top here, we can, like, cut it down so you don't have, like, the full 4 block wide or whatever. I'm just going to kind of fill in these corners a little bit, and then we will jump down and take a look at it. I feel like this might need to come up 1. And that's probably fine, that's probably fine. I feel like this is going to be a little weird, so let's go ahead and add a little bit of a block here. Like I said, we're not really worried about symmetry. It's actually better to kind of keep this stuff random, so it doesn't look like if you do mess up or it doesn't look good, it doesn't look like it was by accident. It actually looks purposeful. Alright, so I gotta be careful here, because I might die. But, here we go. We're gonna see if we can clutch this. I need to hit the bed. Oh, no, we didn't get it. That's fine. It only took 2 hearts of damage. I do have feather falling on these boots, so I think we're good, actually. Alright, and now let's kind of take a look at that, and yeah, there we go. So, like, you look down here, you can actually kind of see it curve up. If you didn't have that, like, tiered look, you wouldn't be able to see the roundness of it. I do think I probably need to add a little bit on this side. Alright, so that's kind of the first step, the bulk blocks. And then we're going to pillar up again with some dirt. Alright, so we said we needed to add kind of some blocks on this side. So we're just going to step it out a little bit. It's fine. There we go. Okay. So, after you do that, the next part is texturizing. So we're going to grab our 2 texturizing blocks. Again, we're using jungle wood and red wool, and actually I should have a crafting table on me. Because we're going to want, especially with the jungle wood, we're going to want some variations in the block so we can kind of make it more randomized, make it look more natural. And like I said, you basically pick out the palette you want and kind of stick to those the entire build. Typically, I'd say do this in creative, and I've practiced around with these in creative, but this is actually all random that we're doing right now together. So I've got all my blocks, and then the next thing we want to do is just kind of add splotches, basically. So I think I'm going to leave the top. So we're going to drop down. Maybe like here would be kind of the first set of splotches, and then we're just going to go through and kind of place in some of the randomizing blocks. The tricky part with the randomizing part is you want to make sure it doesn't have hard cutoff. So like, for example, it kind of transitions easily here. Here, it's kind of a hard transition, so probably what I'd do is like break down a couple of blocks here and transition this upwards like that, more than likely. And then maybe we even like come in here and do that. I think that'll look good. Kind of a hard transition here, so I think I'm just going to block this up a little bit. And then maybe we even kind of bring this downward a little bit. Okay, yep, so a little pop of red, splotch of red. I think that looks pretty good. Here, I don't really like that, so I think I'm going to just take out one block here. This is going to go right there, so this will make this transition a little easier. Okay, and then let's kind of come over to the other side and do the next splotch of color, which is going to be using the jungle wood. I don't want to start at the same level, so I'm going to drop down basically a level. And it's okay for these blocks to kind of touch each other. It's not going to hurt anything. It's actually going to make it look a little better if they do kind of transition together. And like, there's not too much of a science. It's more about the randomization when you're doing this kind of building style. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's looking good. I think this will be fine. And then we probably want to add a little bit more of the jungle onto this side. So, like, you don't want to keep it all to one side because you're not going to be able to see it all the way around. And I think the way we're going to do that is probably just take out these blocks here. I'm not going to actually let this touch the red this time. It's good to have some randomization where they do touch and some where they don't. Again, it's just going to make it look a little more natural and not as much planned, even though it is planned. Kind of. To an extent, it's planned. Okay. And then I feel like we probably need to add some steps and slabs, at least into part of this. And this is another kind of idea, is like you kind of mesh it together, so mix a block or two in with it. And then here, I think we'll go ahead and add some stairs. And maybe a half slab here and here. I think that's looking pretty good. I think you'll be fine not being able to see it from that side. We are going to add a couple more netherrack blocks around here. Again, we just don't want to lose that definition from the ground floor, which can be very difficult to do. But yeah, organic structures, it's all about randomizing. honestly. And then once you kind of play around with it a little bit and do some practice, you'll have it down pat. Alright, so first let's kind of take a look from the ground. And yeah, there you go. So you can see the definition. You can definitely tell that it gets smaller as it goes up. I may need a little bit more definition on that side, at least from that angle. And then if I come to this side, that is actually really good, actually. I think I like that side. Like, it's pretty much perfect. Of course, when you do get under it, it's kind of harder to tell, but I think we're good. And of course, the farther down you are, the harder it is as well. So then the next thing I want to do is kind of compare it to the rest of the village by pillaring up and kind of looking at it from a different angle. So I think this will be a good spot. No particular rhyme or reason for picking this spot, except that I can kind of see most of the village from here. And then you kind of want to take some time to kind of look halfway, and wow, that actually looks really good from here. So there's some definition on that one side. And then kind of the last, and typically with these builds, I'd like maybe grab a halfway point, so maybe like here as well, I'd kind of take a look, because you don't want it to like block too much, but you want to be able to see through it so everything seems connected. I am noticing it's slightly off center, so I'll probably just run that down and kind of thicken up the stock a bit. That's going to be perfectly fine, because it is a rather wide base that we're working with. And then after you get kind of the mushroom stem done, we'll go ahead and do this guy, and then we'll work on the mushroom head. And then after you get the mushroom heads done, then we'll kind of work on beefing this up where we need to. But yeah, so that's kind of how I go about with these organic structures. You can now see where the Scarlett Forest name comes from. It's going to be mostly those scarlet mushrooms. The last kind of angle that I was about to talk about that I got before I got sidetracked that you want to look at is like off in the distance. So like, for example, maybe, you know, there'll be another village like way over here. So I want to keep like the whole village into rendering distance and kind of look at it together. And wow, that looks great. That looks awesome. And then once we have a few more of the big guys around, oh, it's going to look awesome. Oh, I'm stoked. I'm super excited. I've been waiting to do this part of the build for like so long. But I've been having to collect a lot of resources to even start this. So, like, I have nowhere near the resources I'm going to need. I need a lot more birch wood, a lot more jungle wood. Definitely need a lot more red wool for sure. But yeah, so let me go ahead and get this other mushroom head in, and then we'll kind of finish out the stock together. So yeah, give me a minute, guys, and you'll be right back. Alright, guys, now for the fun part. I got another mushroom head built. This one's kind of out of lean. So if you imagine, it's kind of flopping over to the right here. I'm going to make it look more defined here in just a minute, so you will actually be able to see that, hopefully pretty easily. Basically, I went around and made sure all the wood was facing the right direction. So again, I want all the stems facing downward. And yeah, that's what we got going on now. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and start fixing these stems up, making them a little more bulky, and then making sure that people like know these are mushrooms. And one of the ways I like to do that, or one of the ways I'm gonna do that, this is actually the first time I've kind of built in this kind of style, actually. First time for everything, so this is kind of new to me as well. I have done some practicing, of course, in creative, but the first thing we're going to do is the stem that I was talking about. That needed to be thickened right here, so that looks pretty good. And then the next thing we're going to do is basically take out some blocks kind of around the stem, because if you think of mushrooms, they kind of have that, the head kind of like hollows out on the inside, and it rounds to the top kind of. So that's kind of what we're signifying here to make it look more like a mushroom and not like a, I guess, like a top hat or pyramid, kind of. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, and now that we've kind of taken out some of the, come on, there we go. Some of the blocks around here, we're gonna place in some more stems, and I think I need to take out a couple more on this side. So this is kind of the first step, is clear this out. And then for something fun that I wanted to do in this specific type of build, I wanted to add like redstone torches kind of hidden, kind of behind the mushrooms, so it kind of looks like from down low they might look like they're glowing possibly. And of course the torches are kind of going to be visible from down low, but that's probably fine. We just want to make sure we kind of put them all around so it does kind of look like a glow. I thought it looked pretty cool, so I'm going to try it and see. I may regret it, who knows? And then I'm going to add a few more stem pieces kind of around the edges here to kind of bulk this up. We can go and get rid of this dirt. Is that all of it? Yeah, it looks like all of it. And again, we'll take a step down and kind of look at that. Before I do that, I want to kind of make this more defined. So the way we're going to do that is just, again, take out more kind of blocks around and take out this back layer specifically. So hopefully that gives you the illusion that it's kind of leaning that way. And then we are going to want to kind of move this stem outwards a little bit. And this is one of those spots where we can actually kind of hide the stem head a little bit. And yeah, this is a little trickier, because we don't want any holes like that. And with the fortune pick, these things are mined relatively quickly. Can I get that? Yeah, okay, got it. Cool. And hopefully that gives the illusion that I'm going for. I'm going to turn this block around. I know you'll probably never see it, because you're never really on top of these things, but nice. Let's go ahead and collect my blocks before we take a look at this, because I don't want to waste any resources. Took me a while to get all this, so I need to use it sparingly. Oh yeah, but yeah, see, now you can kind of see how it's like drooping downwards. I think it became more defined. I could probably use a few more kind of hanging down bits here, possibly. And maybe I'll add, you know, something like that. I may have made that too square with this guy. Now again, we do want to be careful, because we don't want to get like single blocks off to the side like we have here. So I'm just kind of beefing this up just a little bit. And yeah, there you go. So I think it's becoming more defined. I think that looks pretty good. Again, it is a little thin right here, so I might kind of beef this up some more, actually. But really, the thing about this type of building is it's kind of, you know, place some blocks, take a look around, so it's kind of time consuming, but in the end it looks really good, I believe, so if I do say so myself. I'm a little biased. But yeah, and then we just want to kind of add some torches kind of on the edges. We don't want to go like very edge, I don't think, because I think that probably look weird, maybe. Let's kind of back up and take a look at this. Yeah, so there needs to probably be another kind of stem in that area. And I think that will be fine. Actually, I'm gonna probably get rid of that torch. I think it's too low. I got one there. I got a few there. around these edges. I think back here I probably want to add a little bit of a dome. Not much though, because again, we want it to look like it's leaning outwards and not inward. And then we kind of want to go around and make sure we don't have any of these little gaps like this. This would kind of look weird from down low, so we want to make sure we close those up. I think that's fine, because that's kind of the two mushroom heads colliding, and if we wanted to, we could probably take out a few of these blocks so they aren't connected, but I think it'll look fine. Oh yeah, so that's looking good. Like I said, we beefed that up a little bit. I think the next thing I want to do is take some of this dirt and some more of this and kind of beef out this stock a little more. The reason being is I kind of want to add some dirt around this and add some like real Minecraft mushrooms. Because I think that'll really sell the point that it's a mushroom better. Let's take a look at this from far off while it's nighttime. Kind of look at that faint glow that we're getting. And if you can imagine, like... Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks nice. But yeah, so let's get some dirt. Well, let's sleep, and then we'll get some dirt kind of around the area. And we'll add some, like, mushroom sprouts, basically. And this is why I wanted to kind of beef this up, because I'm going to be kind of building the dirt up around the stalk. Because, like, if it's a mushroom, it'd be kind of pushing the earth up as it grows, you know? And then, yeah, we're just going to add a... Oh, I forgot. They got to be super dark. Dang it. Okay, never mind. That's unfortunate. I mean, there might... Nah, there's not. There might be a few spots we can put them, but... Oh, man. So one way to remedy this is I think as long as it's got one block above it, it will actually stay put. So we can just, like, kind of build the stock out a little bit more. Where we think we might need some more clarification. And I think that's fine, because I wanted that beefed up a little bit anyways. So let's actually grab the red and put it... Well, I thought just one block would do it, but I guess it doesn't. Oh, I guess because this has one block and then another block out. Okay, so then, like, I guess if we took out, like, these two, it would work. Let's see if this is going to look weird, though. It might. Or it might look fine, honestly. Interesting. How did... Oh, wait. Oh, because the sun's up there. Huh. So then as the sun sets, this might pop off, actually. Oof. Okay. Well, that is unfortunate. I was really hoping this would help, like, sell it. But I guess a few lying around where I can put them will be fine. I think what we could do, though, is, like, break these out. Add some more dirt here, possibly. Nope. Still can't. We can't put that there, but that's because the sun is setting on that side. I think when the sun comes back up, it's going to pop off. Okay, well, not as drastic as I would have liked, but that's okay. But But yeah, so there we go. We just kind of beefed it up, added that glowing to kind of the mushroom heads. That looks pretty good. There's that one spot, which I think I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, okay, we'll see if these mushrooms survive. Let me go up here and remove kind of all my scaffolding so we can get the full experience. Yeah, I think that'll be fun. And I can't really give you a formula for, like, making these kind of sloped, like, lopsided builds. Those are just something you'll probably just have to play around with and practice. Like, that was just me messing around. I didn't really have any rhyme or reason to doing that. But it turned out pretty good. Oh, yeah. That is actually looking pretty good. And I think we could even bring out these mounds a little farther, and I think it'd look fine, because these mushrooms are pretty big. So I think if we come out a little bit, it's not going to hurt a thing. And then I may, like, make this, like, spill over and go down, possibly. Alright, is the sun coming back up? Okay. It's actually right above us. Okay, so we might be fine then. Cool. You don't want these super symmetrical, because then it doesn't look natural. But I think that looks pretty good. I might do a little bit more here. There we go. That didn't really open up anymore. Mushroom areas, did it? Oh, it did. Well, yeah. Okay, but yeah. So there we go. A giant mushroom. I probably actually need to thin this out a little bit here in the middle now that I'm looking at it. After I just beefed it up. It's just this one spot where it's like super square, and I think just by taking off this block, I think that's all we might need to do. Maybe take off that bottom block too. Yeah, I think that did a little bit. Now we do need to go back and kind of reroute these blocks. They're pointing up and not to the side. And with organic builds, like, the bigger you make it, the easier it is to kind of get the look you're going for. But yeah. So let's kind of step back, take a look at that one time. That's looking pretty good. I think we will go ahead and take out maybe this block and that block. Yeah. I think that looks good. Let me make sure it looks good from this side. Maybe we put one back here. I think the rest of that looks good. Cool. And then it looks good from this side. Yeah, that looks pretty good. The only spot is maybe right there. Could use a little bit to beef it up a little bit, but I think I'm going to leave it. Because, I mean, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more of these big mushrooms. But yeah, so yeah, let me go ahead and get some of these other mushrooms in, and I'll bring y'all back to see kind of the final mushroom placement of the specific village. As we kind of move outwards, the mushrooms are going to increase, and they're going to be more the smaller ones, which are what these blocks are for. But yeah, let me go ahead and get some of those built, and I'll bring you guys back in to check them out. Hey guys, it's time for the music with the dark segment. The song is The Lies We Tell Ourselves, The artist is Ravenscode. And this song just talks about how one person can make a difference. You have that one person who's a light in the world, and they're a light to their friends that are around them or the people around them, and then they become that light to those people, and then those people become encouraged, and they are then lights to people around them. And if you think about this, it all comes back to one person. One person starts the trend, and just by being a light to anyone who may be hurting or discouraged or, I don't know, fighting a battle within themselves, if you can be a light to that person and help them get through it, then they can then be a light to other people who are struggling, or basically anyone in the world. So yeah, never believe that one person can't make a difference. You're one person, you can make a difference. You just gotta try and trust that you can do it, and by believing in yourself, good things will come to you and the people around you. But again, alright, we finished all the mushrooms. I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through. As y'all saw, we built this one together. I beefed it up a little bit, but there's still a little bit of definition I need to kind of fix. We built some of these smaller guys as well. We gave them a faint glow. The mushrooms in Minecraft tend to glow a little bit, at least the brown ones do. So I was trying to kind of light up the world with these mushrooms a little bit to help with the spawns, but unfortunately redstone in this version doesn't really help the spawns because it's such a faint glow. But we have basically 4 big guys and a bunch of little guys. What I found out is kind of doing these in reverse is actually better. So my favorite mushroom is this guy over here. And I actually built him. I started with kind of the mushroom heads and then kind of built the stalk onto it afterwards. And yeah, it looks pretty good. But yeah, I love the faint glow. Like I said, it just gives a little bit of life to the build, a little bit of character. I do need to work on some of the spawn proofing here. Ah, yeah. Luckily, I don't have a mob griefing on. I thought this was a one-shot bow. I guess not. Nope, guess it's not. Must have been my other one. Whoops. Alright, I'll have to update that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. We're going to cut to the outro, introduce the new player, and then I'm probably going to start working on the next video. Introducing our newest member, Mr. Pokemaster. He will be joining the server, playing on the SMP a little bit. I will link his channel in the description below, so make sure y'all welcome him with open arms. And show him the same love you guys show me. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned something. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you really enjoy this content and you never want to miss an upload, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. Anyways, Dark Skywolf, and I'm signing off for the night. We'll see y'all next time. So long, everybody.